everyone and welcome back. I'm Judith Boss and today we are exciting from this exciting journey, the advanced level of our SmartINNO basic video series. In this session, we will explore the key challenges for smart textiles today, how to balance innovation with standardization, and we'll look to how user-centered designs shape products, the journey from the idea to the market, and the current efforts to create solid industry and standards. Let's start. So before starting with the course, I would like to mention the disclaimer. So SmartINNO has received funding from the European Commission. And of course, the idea is to bridge the gap between research centers, industry, and of course, bringing academia and researchers all together and uplifting the skills. So moving now to the next slide, we are starting, as I mentioned, the course 1 of advanced level Smart Textiles Balancing Innovation and Standardization. And now I'm gonna briefly mention what we are going to see in this video course. So let's go to the table of contents. So today the course will cover 3 main topics: youth-centered designs, possibilities and limitations of smart textiles nowadays, and of course, how to move an idea from the idea to the market, and we'll touch the big topic of standardization and certification, where today there are huge challenges in there. Now we're going to move to the next slide, user-centered design, UDC. First, let's talk about user-centered design, or well known as UCD. This is a design philosophy that puts the user's needs, preference, and experience at the center of the entire development process. It's about involving users earlier, understanding their needs, and continuously testing and adapting the product based on their feedback. When we talk about smart textiles, UCD helps us to make sure that our products are comfortable, usable, and relevant for real people. We have to mention here that it's really important to make a smart textile succeed to find a real need in the consumer market. Now we're going to move forward to our next slide and defining the 4 steps of UCD. So typically, user-centered design follows 4 main steps: planning, identifying user needs and technical requirements; analysis, doing a benchmarking of the existing solutions and setting design priorities. Then we go to creation, developing prototypes using tools like digital human modeling. And from last point, verification, testing the prototypes with users for usability, comfort, and emotional acceptance. This process is essential, especially when designing smart garments. For example, for elderly people, users who need biomonitoring and comfortability without sacrificing anything. Now we are going to move to our next slide, which will talk about possibilities and limitation in smart textiles. User-centered designs offer real benefits for smart textiles, but there are still limits. The challenge includes durability and maintenance of electronics inside the fabrics, data privacy, as we spoke in the previous video, and security for sensitive information that we are collecting with those devices. And of course, regulatory hurdles, especially in medical applications, which a medical product can take easily 5 years to reach from prototyping to the market. Developers must find a balance between functionality, comfort, safety, and compliance without overcomplicating the user experience. Now, let's start from the key point. So from the ideation to the market. Taking a smart textile product from an idea to a market is complex. It's a complex journey. Typically, the process includes idea generation, defining the prototype, prototyping, designing, validation, and testing. Not to talk about that in design, you have to take really into consideration the current technologies for scaling up. Then commercialization, it's not just about design. It's about market research is really critical. Identifying a target audience, understanding the user needs, and analyzing the trends and positioning the product properly. That's key for making it work. And we have to mention here that normally products that succeed, especially in wearables, are completed products, not just a part of it. And now we're going to talk about one of the main keys, which is the product development process timeline that can vary depending on the industry. For sectors like automotive or medical textiles, the process is much longer and more demanding. Rigorous testing, strict compliance procedures, and adherence to regulatory frameworks, so developers must adapt timelines and processes depending on the sector they target. And that's really important when bringing a product to the market. Now we're going to move to the next slide, which is standardization and certification challenges. Now we're going to move to one of the key challenges of this industry, which is standardization certification challenges. Now moving into this area, one of the big bottlenecks of smart textiles today. Smart textiles blur the line between textiles and electronics, making it really difficult to apply current and existing regulations. And the fast pace of innovation often outpaces the ability of standardization bodies to catch up. The result: we don't yet have a common global standard for smart textiles. Normally, it's the companies that try to balance the two standardization rules, and they are taking all the responsibility. Now we are going to talk about organizations working on standards. Some organizations are actively working on smart textiles standards, including EACEA, International Organization of Standardization, CNN, the European Committee for Standardization, STM, the International, and EACEA, the American Association of Textiles Chemists and Colorists. The Smart Textile Alliance as well, it's working on the topic, and it's based in London, Europe. It's focused on different aspects, from electrical properties to durability, washability, and safety. So why is standardization so hard? Several reasons make standardization in a smart textile complex. First of all, it's the need for multidisciplinary expertise: textiles, electronic, healthcare, software, IoT, etc. Communication gaps between the different fields, and of course diverse and fast-changing applications, from healthcare to fashion to defense to protection equipment to construction, etc. Lack of dominant players to drive a consensus, and of course the rapid technical evolution that outpaces regulatory updates. That's why developing effective and lasting standards is really slow, and the iterative process that requires collaboration across the different sectors. So I would like to conclude this series of videos with a last final thought. In smart textiles, innovation and standardization must grow together. Without clear standards, adoption is really limited. But without innovation, the industry can't move forward. Finding the balance between these two forces, creativity and responsibility, is key for building the future in smart textiles. So thank you all for participating, and I would like to inform you that we have one last video of the advanced level course. In the next section, we will go even deeper into smart textiles and wearables, and of course, we really hope that those courses help you in your daily lives to understand better how textiles and wearable works. And moreover, if you are following any technical conference, they help you to get more into the technical details and, of course, the main challenges of the industry. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.